Hey, beautiful people. And I want to welcome you to another evening with me, Edie Mondene, on Mondays with Mondene, but this might air on Thursday. We're having conversations with you every day. And the reason being is that there's so much going on around us, and there's a lot of information flying around, and I want to keep you abreast of what's going on. But right now, more than any other time in history, we're seeing something that is relevant to the past that we can remember. The baby boomers, we remember Dr. King. We remember the struggle. I remember being awe-stricken when I see his face on television. And something would always, somehow, about him, it just would take my attention away. And I'd stop whatever I was doing, and I was just glued to him. Little did I know that many years later I'd be fighting the same fight, standing in the same streets and carrying the message along like I want to carry it now. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s message wasn't particularly groundbreaking, but it was deeply rooted in America's founding ideas. He simply challenged America to live up to its promises. Now, he didn't see himself as having any new ideas, but rather he was pushing the country to be true to what it claimed to stand for. Dr. King, as we know, was assassinated in 1968. But his mission was never just about civil rights. It was about human rights. This is where an unsettling force comes into play. This is a movement, not just to advance racial equality, but to secure the dignity of all the people in a time when those rights are under attack right now. Dr. King's vision went way beyond civil rights. He understood that the struggle for equality was not just about laws. It was about the very essence of humanity, dignity. He sought not only justice in the courts, but also in the economy, in education, and in the fabric of everyday life. Today, in this time of political division, economic disparity, and persistent racial inequality, his call to justice, nonviolence, and moral leadership is more relevant than ever. There's a role that we must play as people who are righteous. The nonviolence and advocacy that we ought to display today. Dr. King's approach to nonviolent resistance was not just a protest tactic. It was a way of life. He believed, as I do, in winning over people, not just winning fights. There is time for redemption and reconciliation. He focused on transforming enemies into allies rather than defeating them. Beloved community, listen. The goal was not just legal equality, but a society built on justice and unity. We talk about economic justice. Dr. King recognized that racial equality without economic empowerment would never, ever be enough. His work in Memphis, while he fought for workers' rights, is a testament to this. Now we've gotten up. We've got some stuff going on that wasn't available then. With the technology amplifying both good and bad ideas, we must be even more vigilant in advocating for equity and equality. The fight for justice, economic empowerment, and human dignity is more urgent than ever. There's something we can do. I want to call out the churches, communities, into this field of activism because it's time to stand up now. All churches, activists, and community organizations, organizers, peace disturbers, good noisemakers, you must carry the torch of Dr. King's work by stepping beyond words and move into action. Faith leaders, we've got to once again appeal and become the moral conscience of the nation. The church played a critical role in the civil rights movement, and it must do so again by speaking truth to power. And that means to stand up for the marginalized and be ready to give your life. Community organization and organizers must build coalitions across racial and political divides, making a resounding noise about King's call for a united front against oppression. Activists must harness the power of nonviolent protest, digital advocacy, and economic empowerment to challenge modern injustices in real time. We can do this. An unsettling force. What comes next? Well, Dr. King's dream was not just about securing civil rights, but ensuring human rights. Now, an unsettling force is a movement designed to bridge that gap, to bring together people from all walks of life that are in pursuit of equity, justice, and dignity for everybody. This is not a movement about partisan politics. It's not about temporary victories. It's about ensuring that the fight for human rights does not die with each generation. It is about creating a society where marginalized voices are heard, economic opportunities are available to all, and justice is not just reserved for the few, the privileged, and the few. I don't know what that means, but you know what it is. I'm going to leave you tonight with this. Why this matters now more than ever? King's message is not just a relic of history. It is a blueprint for our future. His vision of justice, unity, and moral leadership is what is needed most in an era of deep political division and an increasing attack on the vulnerable. Now, if we ignore this moment, we risk unraveling the process and the progress that has been made and so many have fought and died for. My beloved community, the time is right now, the work is urgent, and the call is clear. Let's rise up. This isn't a motivational talk. This is a call to action, not just in memory of Dr. King, but in the spirit of his unfinished work for your children, my grandchildren, your brothers, your sisters, your next door neighbors, and for every American. And until I see you again, I want you to stay vigilant, stay engaged, and let's build a future worthy of his dream. It's relevant today more than ever. You know, I talk a lot about knowing where you came from to know where you're going. Well, I came from the projects of St. Louis, Missouri, and I ended up into the majestic mountaintops of Portland, Oregon. It's been a wonderful journey, and Lewis and Clark took that journey from St. Louis to Portland, and I took it too. It talks about who I am, and as I'm with you often in cyberspace or on websites or on the, social media, I want you to know a little bit about me and who I am. This book talks about my fantasies, my failures, my triumphs, and more than that, it talks about the resiliency of being able to continue to go forward regardless of the odds. I'd get a copy. It's called From Maladies to Melodies. And I hope that you enjoy it and give me some feedback. God bless.
Hey, it's time for you to come to Post Shine. Check out that catfish sandwich. Oh my goodness, is that the shrimp po' boy? Man, look at that chocolate chip cake. Man, I need to get over to Post Shines at 8139 North Denver right now because this food looks delicious. Or call if you'd like, 503-978-9000. And don't miss it, you'll be sorry.
In times gone past, we find ourselves making excuses so that people remind that, ooh, I've got to get home and tend to the brand new missus. I need some time alone. Can't just wait until I finish texting on my phone.